Hi everyone, so today I'm going to show you how to create a customer within QuickBooks. So the customer will be used for obviously invoicing. So there's two ways to do this within QuickBooks. If you're on the customer screen, very easy, click new customer. If you're anywhere else, just hit the new button on the top left corner over there, new, and you can go directly to that customer and you can click add customer. Now we're going to go new customer over here, and we can see there's a whole lot of fields to fill in. So that's, what's the name, title, etc. So we're going to start off with, QuickBooks says the only mandatory field is the display name. I'd recommend that you use additional fields, purely because when we're going to start using, third-party softwares that are a bit smarter than the standard automatic emails, you're going to want to bring in these dynamic fields as tags. You also want to be able to bring in things like, like the email address, because when you send out that invoice, then it knows which email address is associated to it. So first step is, I always think, the most important things is the name of the customer and then the actual company name. So let's just call it Magic Box Ltd. Always a favorite of mine. And then the customer is going to come up. As you can see, QuickBooks is automatically suggesting it to you as the name. I'll recommend that you don't use the customer's name themselves. You want to actually use the company name, so that's what is going to be on the invoice, especially when you're dealing with businesses or B2B. B2C, it's obviously less important, but then your company name wouldn't exist. So step one, put in that details. Step two, you're going to add in the address. This isn't mandatory, so if you don't need it, you don't need to put it in. It is helpful for sales tax purposes. Notes and attachments, any special things to note about this company. Payment methods. So what this is, it lets you store this on file so that we know, how this customer is going to pay. And credit limit's always great, so that we know that they don't go over their limits. I think what's great with all of this stuff is, QuickBooks has got such a good API that if you're using other third-party tools, we can pull in this information. So software like Kolleno, for example, can bring in this credit limit, and as soon as this customer breaches their limit, you can get an alert and a task to go investigate. So this customer type over here, if you want, you can create a customer type. So it's like, who it belongs to. So he's going to be a VIP customer for me. Default tax code is he is in California, so he's going to pay that 8%. If you haven't put the address, it's going to automatically default to that. There's no opening balance to bring in from previous accounting systems. If you're migrating in from another accounting software, then you could enter that in. Or if they've owed you money elsewhere, previous account, you're now starting a whole new company account for them, you can hit that over there. At the top here, you've got these quick buttons that take you to a specific part of the adding the customer. So you can fill those in. If you don't need it, just minimize it. But yeah, definitely key information, name, address if you need it, notes on the customer. Payments, I wouldn't say you necessarily always need, depending on what you're going to do. Most customers are, doing a normal bank transfer, so probably not as important. I do think the customer type is a really nice touch, especially for grouping customers in like portfolios or segments later on. So when you're doing any analytics and reports, it's very easy to see who it belongs to. And now I'm going to hit save, and that customer is saved, and we can start charging them and hopefully making some money.